Back, everybody. We're
We're
back.
not back. We
Slow
weren't
Bros
anywhere.
are back. We've evolved. We used to be Slowpokes, and here we are. And we're getting into this, talking Pokemon. I know something about Pokemon.
Wait, have we
Henry
actually
knows
started?
very little about Pokemon.
Have we actually started? Can we restart? Can you just welcome it? Can you say
Slow Bros are back for Season 1, Episode 1. And here we're going to be talking Pokemon, doing some questions, playing some games, and going over the news, the hot topics of the day. I know something about Pokemon, somewhat in the business, running a Pokemon store. Henry knows very little. And so again, outsider perspective. Maybe an interesting one from the madness going on in the Pokemon hobby. And what we're going to start with, as a nice introduction, is going over our Gen 1 teams. And the best one we've got. So I will go through them. And Henry can take away explaining the logic behind this.
I'm heading up with Arcanine. And the reason for this is I was reminded recently by my brother that I picked this up. I have a physical card of this, but it must be a German card, I think.
Is it German?
And it
is.
was picked up in the north of Italy, actually. How old were we? It must have been.
It's EX Legend Maker, and I think that's 2000 and... It's around 2010, I think. No, it can't be 2010.
It must
EX
have.
Legend.
Would it been in winter? It was before
prob-
you broke your ankle.
Maybe winter or summer.
And
Presumably.
you were.
No, it was 2006.
2006.
That was a long time ago.
Okay. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Anyway, it was
Those
probably
are really nice ones, yeah.
it's probably the best card that I've ever pulled from a pack, which potentially shows the lack of packs that I have opened in my lifetime.
Yes.
But yeah, so fond memory. So have to put Arcanine in.
Next up,
I'm gone for Raichu.
unpopular
Because-
choice. Well, the contrarian's choice.
Exactly. There
The
we
being
go.
different choice. Yeah.
Pikachu gets too much love, okay? And it's time to put some respect on Raichu. Because
He should never have
Because-
lost to Pikachu.
but you know, what can I say? I like to
Well, to be honest,
in my general life roll down the untraveled path.
there we go. And he is, to be fair, getting his moment at the moment. Because he just had 2 new forms released with this new game.
There we
The
go.
DLC.
See? So he's
So he's back.
exactly, rightfully
He's
so.
in the limelight. And next up, to completely tread down the untravelled path,
Exactly.
we have this third pick.
It's-
Another unpopular Pokemon.
Exactly. I mean, I'm struggling for the name actually. No, obviously you have to have one of the, the 9, I suppose, the starters and the evolutions, and Charizard is my go-to.
He's a fire type.
Yeah, that's good. Not that I've chosen
No,
my
I mean,
team.
in your
any
preferred
sort of-
typing.
Yeah, this isn't a team that would I don't think would fare too well in battles, but
Not
I
balanced.
there's no balance at all. No, that's not true actually. There's some coming up that are. I did put some thought,
Let's
but
see.
these 3 are for I actually just like them. I like
Just for vibes.
Yeah, the aesthetic, the vibes. But actually, just before Articuno, Alex actually made me not a origami figure, but Alex will clarify what it is. He
Paper
made
model.
me a paper model of Charizard. What was it called? What
Sort of
was the
origami.
technique? The triangles,
Well,
no?
you fold up paper triangles and you stack them.
Yeah, but
So
loads of them.
If we've got a picture of it, it may appear somewhere.
Exactly.
But yeah, a lot of them.
someone will have to
for the
dig
Charizard?
it
Because I think
out.
you had a Charmander rip-off Lego thing
Yeah, I did from Hong Kong. Exactly. I do have a little
to go with that.
Charmander. Exactly.
And Pokemon
And
Lego is coming this year. So maybe there'll be a real one.
is it really? That's
That's huge. Well, it's the 30th anniversary this year.
that's the most exciting thing that I've heard about Pokemon.
So that is coming up.
Actually,
Don't know the sets yet, but
Pokemon. There's definitely going to be a starter set. So there's going to be, those three are going to be there. Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander for sure. You're missing a trick if that's not there.
well, there's something about that in the news coming up. But well, not about the Lego. But hopefully they aren't just figures. I'd rather they had actual, buildings, things like
Yeah,
that.
and I'm sure they'll put
But we'll
the
see.
gym and the
That would be nice.
Pokestop. Is there a Pokestop?
Poke Center, Pokemon Centers.
Pokestop.
Pokestop's Pokemon Go.
Yeah, right. I was going to say that as well.
The ones you
That-
spin.
That was talking about exciting things that happen in Pokemon. For me, the Lego is now my new exciting thing. But before that, Pokemon Go was exciting. We definitely destroyed phone battery life, I think.
For one summer.
Yeah, for one summer. Lots of walking. And actually, there were loads of people playing it. We, just people
was
sit
still.
around on park benches.
You'd be surprised still at the moment.
Mm. So,
Well,
I mean,
in Regent's Park and things like that.
yeah.
Not so much around here.
For anyone outside of the UK if there is
Yes.
anyone.
A big park in London. There you go.
Exactly.
Yep.
Come on, Alex.
And then on to Articuno.
For some balance, I thought I want one of Zapdos, Moltres, or Articuno, and I thought, well, there's got to be some sort of balance here, so I need to.
There's actually a very nice Articuno card at the moment
Yeah.
in the recent ones. Yeah. A very desirable.
There we go.
And good choice. Number
Thanks.
5, another hugely popular choice.
Gengar, exactly. Well, this is again for balance. I think the
Yep.
first three are, they are picks of the heart, and these two are picks of the brain, trying to cover
Yeah.
because it's Gengar's ghost.
Well, I
right?
suppose
Ghost.
Raichu counters the water. Here's goes poison. You're a bit vulnerable to ground.
See, well,
Fire,
You know,
electric,
that's
and
all-
poison.
that's all a bit over my head, but
But
I
maybe
remember-
number 6 will have an answer to it.
yes, there we go. Machop's cute,
no.
so I put him in. Adorable, isn't it?
Not Machamp.
No, it's just too obvious, that one. So I thought
So you went for the first one. Machop, nice choice.
exactly. So that's the team.
Bit more coverage.
It will get
There we
progressively worse as we have to do the other generation teams because my knowledge will become
Yes.
poorer and poorer.
Then it will be much more just on vibes. Vibes and aesthetic.
Not even vibes, just aesthetic. I'll just look at the card and go,
Just
that's a
aesthetic.
nice color.
But there we go. Well, no, we won't do any forms. No, yeah, it will just be completely unknown. I think Gen 2 and 3 will be fine,
Mm.
but we'll see where that goes. Okay, let's move on now. So, first up for me, we have Squirtle. Not Blastoise. It could have been Blastoise. Blastoise was my favourite when I was younger because it counts as Charizard.
You're still young?
And mainly because yes, I am still young in my youth. And Squirtle's just cute. There's a Squirtle squad from the anime and the books. Well, the anime. And Blastoise's favourite. Also called Shiggy in German. And it's a nice name. I think I almost prefer Shiggy to Squirtle. But there we go. Number 2.
Shiggy,
Poliwrath.
sorry, just to say, Shiggy sounds like some sort of hippie, I don't know what.
Yes.
No? Shiggy?
Well, the Squirtle Squad, maybe they are. But Shiggy. No, Shiggy's cute. It's a lovable little pet. That's Squirtle. And then obviously Blastoise.
Mm.
And then on brand for the water types, going into Poliwrath. Just a cool Pokemon. I don't really know why I like Poliwrath. But I think I have good memories of Poliwrath, not in-game. But the Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Poliwrath line, very nice, always appreciated. Other water type, Vaporeon. This is because another thing that we had from sort of Pokemon collection as a child was a Team Rocket binder from a charity shop for the original Team Rocket set. And I think there was a first edition Dark Vaporeon on there. And that was one of my favourite cards. And it got destroyed in a washing machine because I loved it too much.
You mean
and I left it in my pocket
to take it out? Exactly.
Yep, because I carried it everywhere, and it died. Well, it didn't. It's a binder quality. As long as you don't take it out of the binder, it looks great.
Oh, so you still have it? Okay.
Still got it. Next up is Aerodactyl. It's just a cool Pokemon. Cool dragon, bit of a counter to Charizard. Again, from the stories. Fought Charizard in one of the episodes where Charmeleon actually evolved. Fun fact. Where Ash's Charmeleon evolved because of Aerodactyl. And I did think about making it the mascot for the Chase Club. For the store. But it's just sort of Umbreon at the moment and probably going to stick with it. It's a bit of an effort to change things. The Umbreon looks quite nice as well. I like it.
I think the black is good. You know.
Yeah.
Black goes
Black
with
and
a lot
gold.
of colours.
Exactly. Next up, we have Alakazam. Nice Pokemon. So completing the trade evolution lines. Machop, Gengar, Alakazam. I think also he was a big character in the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, which I like a lot. He was sort of, like the sensei character. Very cool always. And lastly is Cubone. Poor little Cubone. Mainly for the lore about how, he's sort of wearing the skull of his mother and always just heartbroken. That's why Cubone's in here.
I didn't know that. So that's learning something new.
I believe that he's wearing the skull of his mother. Yep. But Cubone, he's got nice lore. Also on a lot of the Pokemon cards, there's really nice artwork that touches on it. That is sort of consistent with the canon for Cubone, which I do always appreciate. But there we go. So there are 6 teams. Not based on playability.
No.
Not sure I'd pick any of these, apart from maybe Squirtle evolve into Blastoise. But let us know what you think. Let us know who you think's got the best team, and also what your Gen 1 team would be. Or your favourite picks are. Not the ones you played with, just your favourite Gen 1 Pokemon, if you had to put them together, and maybe some memories that you've got as well. So we might move on now to looking at some of the exciting Pokemon news. Obviously, 30th anniversary, so we've got a lot coming up. But first thing that we're going to stop on is the next Japanese set, which will be Nihil Zero, I believe. And this is the English set after Ascended Heroes, which will mean nothing to you. But it's a Dragonite set that's been released. And then this is the next one. So obviously we had a lot of, first we had a Charizard set, then we're having a Dragonite set. And they were both, highly in demand, highly sought after. And then we've got this one. Initial impressions. Anyone you recognise?
There's a Meowth.
There was a Meowth. Yep.
And Starmie's there, I think.
There's a Starmie. A Mega Starmie.
I don't know the top 2. Pass.
I think the top right is Clefable. So Clefairy.
Okay.
Clefairy.
Yeah. I know that one.
Gen 1.
Okay.
And then we've got Zygarde.
What? Okay. Sure.
Zygarde. So this is from Pokemon X and Y, which to be honest, I didn't play either. I have no idea. I have no idea about Zygarde. On balance, looking at this, obviously all the cards haven't been revealed yet, but this
Okay.
does look like a weak set. This does look like there's going to be some cooling off in demand for this, which is good for some people because they can get cards, but bad. Well, no, it's probably a good thing. Not every set has to be sort of huge.
How
So
often do
this
they
one will
release
be a
it?
cooling off. 2 months.
Oh, okay. It's not too bad
So a
then.
lot, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, if you sort of follow the Japanese release as well, then the Japanese, they're sort of offset by a month. So you get Japanese English, Japanese English, Japanese English going on, sort of constantly, and then Korean sort of around the English release.
Right.
Well, no,
Okay.
sorry, around the Japanese release. And yeah, so this is the next set. So just looking at the box art, which can sort of indicate the Pokemon in it.
I mean,
Not that
I
exciting.
never liked Meowth, personally.
No.
No.
Bit of a villain. And this is Mega Starmie. So Mega Starmie has legs. So it's imagine a Starmie, and then 2 of the points of the star have been extended, and it's got legs, and it runs around on them.
That's also a pass.
So, which has been a bit polarizing for people
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
on the internet. But this is, yeah. So, speculation, predictions, probably going to be a bit of a cooling off. Not too hype, not too in demand, which means people will be able to get packs. Whether they'll want them, who knows. And this one's a bit more true to the game that just got released, Legends ZA. So it's sort of true to that. But, it could have a Mega Blastoise, could have a Mega Venusaur. We don't know. We'll keep update as the other cards get revealed. Nothing really at the moment. However, what has also been announced is obviously the 30th anniversary, and beginning in March 30th, they'll be releasing these special boxes, so special blister boxes. They're going to have 2 booster packs from the sort of the sets that are going around at the moment, and then this one special booster pack, which only has 3 cards, and it's got one of those starters. So obviously got Charmander, Bulbasaur, Squirtle.
Yeah.
From the first generation. Which you may know, we've got Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig. Which from the 4th generation, from Diamond and Pearl.
We played that game, I remember.
So that would have been Gen 4. So that would have been before the Black and White games.
Yeah. I remember playing.
And then the 7th generation.
No.
So Poplio, Litten, and Rowlet. So from Alola. The Sun and Moon games that were released. So, and they're going to be 3 series. So this is series 1. Then there'll be series 2 with a different selection of starters. And then series 3 with a different selection of starters again. Because there are 9 generations, so they're going to split it that way.
Okay.
And it looks like they've tried to spread it. So they've gone Gen 1, Gen 4, Gen 7. So they're splitting it pretty evenly. And I guess they didn't want to put Gen 1, 2, and 3 in one pack.
Of course.
Because everyone would want that one. And no one really want the others. But they're spreading it out a bit. It's going to come with a sticker sheet as well. Presumably this is going to be the most popular of all the series. Because it's got the Gen 1. It's got Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. As I've said, they're going to be Lego for the 30th anniversary.
When will the Series 2 come out?
I don't know. I suppose March 30th. I think the big for the 25th anniversary, I think the big set came out sort of in October. The sort of like the main set. So maybe it will come out sort of 30th of March, May, July, or maybe every 3 months. I don't know. So what would every
Well,
3 months be?
I presume it'll
March,
be they'll release on the 30th
June.
of every month. Or not of every month, but each month they will release it on the 30th, whenever that is, whichever month they
Yeah,
choose.
I don't know.
I
It's a weird
presume.
spacing to have this. So if 3 months apart seems a bit too far. If they want to spread it out through the whole year.
Mm.
But then 1 month just seems then it'll be over too quickly, and then what else are they going to do?
So what
But
is in the so there's one of them guaranteed in that pack,
n-
but there are
no,
three
there's
cards.
3 of the 9.
Oh, it's three
So you'll
cards.
get 3 of the 9.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
So there'll
not
be
bad.
three
That's
cards in
good.
there, and they will be full arts. Have you seen modern Pokemon cards?
No. What do you mean? I remember the. Oh, I think I know what you mean. Where it says the moves, it's art as well, right? Is that full art? Because in
Yes,
the originals,
exactly. So it's
it's
not in a
yellow.
box.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
the art is no longer just constrained to a box. Actually, Yu-Gi-Oh have just announced that they're going to be doing a Dark Magician and a Blue Eyes White Dragon full art.
I remember that. Blue Eyes, White Dragon. That was good.
Was
One of the top cards.
so everything is getting on board with the full art stuff, and doing that. But yeah, so these seemingly will be full art, so they'll probably be quite desirable. Presumably they're going to be exclusive artworks only found in here. Presumably they're going to be scalped. People are going to buy them up and just sell them on eBay. Just looking at this, it looks like it's going to be that, especially if they only come in this product. And how many of them are they really going to make? I don't know. But then part of me thinks that if I were Pokemon, so at the moment everyone's complaining about how there's such low supply of everything of product at the moment. But if I were Pokemon and I knew the 30th anniversary was coming up, I potentially would be holding back printing of the current sets at the moment, so that there's an immense supply of these products, so that people have sort of a good taste in their mouth for the 30th anniversary.
So that's
So I think they're throttling supply at the moment to sort
no, I
of
mean
build up.
it's a fair point, but why is it so difficult? Or is it across every language? English, Korean, Japanese. I
No,
don't
really,
know.
it's English.
German.
I think English is the main problem. But the thing is, you don't know how much of the Japanese and the Korean supply is shipped abroad, and how much is actually domestic demand. There have been Pokemon booms in Japan, where they've had a similar situation to what you have in the UK, or in to the Western world. But I think at the moment it's mainly European and US that are having sort of short supplies.
Is that because
Mainly.
the current packs are in high demand versus that one before, the one you showed before, which you said wouldn't be
Which one? This one?
high demand?
Yeah, I
The one
don't think
with
this one will
Meowth.
be in high demand.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, are they
But
particularly
I
good
believe,
packs at the moment, for example, or not?
yeah,
All right.
yeah, and I think there's a lot of attention on Pokemon at the moment. Sort of when there was sort of a Pikachu set, then an Eevee set,
Mm.
then a Team Rocket set, and that's sort of they had a good run of sets to be popular for everything, and so it was a really big demand spike around that time. They also released that new sort of mobile game, Pokemon Pocket,
No idea.
and that was, I think that did 1.5 billion in the first year. It's just digital packs. You're just opening Pokemon. They've got exclusive artworks, but you're just opening packs on that. And so that'd be potentially one of the reasons.
I
or
mean,
the
that's
boom coincided with that.
sure. I can't get on board with digital products. I don't understand. I would much rather
No.
have the physical card. And I'm not saying that
Yes.
because my brother has a physical card business. It's something that is, it's the same with books, for example. I can't get on
Yeah.
board with the Kindle idea. Um,
Well, I think it's about ownership,
yeah.
and you just rather you'd rather have a physical thing because there's no, because they could just shut down Pokemon Pocket and the app no longer exists, and then what are you going to do with the artwork? And there have been people who've printed them, and I believe been sued by the Pokemon Company. I believe because
I
they've
think
sort of printed them,
the
they've been selling them, on Etsy or on eBay.
right. Yeah, I was gonna say if you print it, just keep it in your
Yes,
own
no, they haven't
collection
just
at
sort of
home.
come round to you,
Yeah.
yeah, they've knocked down the door
Yeah,
and they've come to take those.
fair enough.
No, definitely for the digital products. I mean, in fairness, Pokemon Pocket is a free app. You get one pack a day, and then it's sort of a timer.
Yeah, but you
You've
can
got to
buy,
wait to open
can't
the
you?
next one.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. There we go.
And so that's how they made the 1.5 billion. And then there were also these things where, in terms of digital packs, where you can buy a digital pack, which is like a mystery thing, and the pack's worth 100, and you have a 30% chance to make your money back, and then a 1% chance to double or triple your money in terms of what you can pull. And you open it on the computer, they'll show you what you pull, and then they'll say, "Do you want us to ship it to you? Do you want us to vault it for you? So we'll just hold it indefinitely, or do you want to sell it back to us for 90%?" And those have seen me to make a lot of money, people from doing them. So that's another thing with the digital packs, but that's more capitalizing on the hype rather than driving it.
People like gambling
But yeah,
inherently.
well, it is gambling. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's pretty much gambling.
Yeah,
But so, well, yeah, it is.
there's no if.
Yeah,
There's no
I mean,
ifs.
the odds are put forward. So it's definitely gambling. But then people would say that Pokemon's gambling. I disagree. I don't think Pokemon's inherently gambling because I
I
don't
think
think it was designed with a monetary aspect.
no, it's only gambling if you're looking to, I suppose, buy a load of packs and sell them on. If you're just opening to have a collection, I don't think would be classed as
Yeah.
gambling.
If you're opening because you say I want to hit big and then sell it, if you're looking to make money from Pokemon packs, I think that's where it becomes gambling.
Yeah, I agree.
But because it can be sort of separated from that financial aspect, I don't see Pokemon as necessarily gambling unless people choose to. Whereas these digital things, the point is gambling.
Mm.
The point is the monetary gain, which isn't necessarily with Pokemon. But yeah, so with all this hype, I have a feeling that they're trying to make the 30th anniversary a good year, plenty of supply. And so maybe, because apparently it takes 6 months for them to print a set. So they'll be printing the set that releases in 6 months' time now, apparently.
Yeah.
So this will have been, to release in March, this will have been printed for 3 or 4 months already. Potentially even more because it's a 30th anniversary thing. So, have they been sort of restricting the supply of sets recently? Just to make sure that they have a lot of 30th anniversary product. If I was running Pokemon, I would want my 30th anniversary. I wouldn't want it to be sort of, online and in store and in like news. People saying, "Oh, there's no Pokemon product. 30th anniversary is a terrible sort of event because everything just got scalped. No one could get anything." From that perspective, I would sort of make sure that we had sufficient product from a business
Fault the
perspective.
logic on that. Cannot
There you go.
fault that logic.
What a take.
I would
And
like to, but I
Connected to
can't.
this, yes, we all would. Well, actually, let's hold off on this one. And let's go to this news story first. So, Millennium Print Group, who they sort of, I think they were a printing company. They were acquired by Pokemon 3 years ago, and they run these printing facilities. It's important to mention that their printing facilities are not just for Pokemon. Other TCGs are available, and I believe that they also print for other TCGs. And they run the factories in, I believe, North Carolina, so for America, and the Netherlands for Europe. Although some products is shipped in between, I believe, depending on the demands. And so it got announced that they were getting like 1.2 million facility, and I thought, oh, everything's saved. 2026 is saved. It's now been confirmed that there will be upgrades to the campus's existing 400,000 square feet of buildings. Will begin in early 2026, so around now. So upgrades will begin. Not operational. Construction of a new 800,000 square foot facility for March 2027. For the end of, or by 2027. And then full-scale operations late 2028. Thoughts?
Well, 2026 is not saved, and no. but the good thing is that it shows the commitment to Pokemon long term for those who like investing, because I'm sure the amount of money that this will cost, actually, and whatever they quote now for the cost, it will always be more in construction. That's a given. So that sort of level of investment shows that they're not packing up anytime soon. So I think that's a positive for anyone who wants to get involved in collect the printed cards. That's my take from the outside, the layman.
But then the question is, wouldn't they? So I think Japanese companies in general are they're slow to move, I guess. They're sort of cautious in sort of, new developments. And I doubt Pokemon would have pulled the trigger if they weren't sure, or if they didn't think demand was going to be there. But then on the other side of things, it's sort of, shouldn't they be making this bet? Sort of full-scale operation by 2028, for this to be profitable for them, you'd imagine it's got to print for 5 to 10 years. So we've got to go through to 2040.
Can't comment on the return on investment of these sites.
But you've got to imagine that this is going to be tens of millions, hundreds of millions.
Tens of millions?
I think people say it was like 14...
It's not just tens of millions. I would be surprised if it's under $1 billion. That's a huge, huge facility.
Because I think they said it's 14 football pitches.
Yeah, it's huge.
To sort of give a visualization of that.
Huge. Stuff costs a lot of money. Have you seen inflation? Things are expensive. And building materials in particular are very expensive.
Well, Pokemon Pocket, 1 year, 1.5 billion. There you go.
There we go. So that's funding.
They released Pokemon Pocket and they said, what are we going to do with the money?
Exactly.
Okay, well, let's go and build a new facility.
Exactly. There we go. So exactly what happened.
They're doing this. So clearly they think, well, I mean, the math checks out from our predictions. Well,
the math
running
is
the numbers
for them.
Yep, exactly. 1.2 million, 1.5 billion.
Yeah.
It lines up nicely.
But I mean, on the point of should they make the bet? I mean,
or rather, would they make the bet? It makes sense that they'd be bullish on, or you'd hope they'd be bullish on themselves.
Well, of course, but how this deal would have been decided is they will have gone, well, what's the demand? How much has demand grown probably over the past 5 or 10 years? And they'll have projections on demand into the future. And they would have gone, well, with our current facilities, we can maybe we are losing, I don't know, 20% of potential demand. We can only serve 80% of those who want Pokemon cards. And so that's how they will have done that's how they would have made the decision. And as you said rightly, the Japanese companies are risk averse. So, it's just a culture thing. So I'm sure that they've, this isn't a Hail Mary. This is a solid bet.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not someone trying to save a business.
No, definitely not.
It's sort of saying, look how good it is.
It's the largest IP in the world, isn't it? As you frequently tell me.
Yes, got to be. I'm bullish on Pokemon.
This is what happens at the dinner table. This is all we talk about.
Yeah, I would do this, but so it's I'm on board. But you'd expect that the fans are the most bullish. Or I would expect they'd be more bullish than Pokemon. But yeah, so this is Pokemon following. And also, just to give perspective on this.
Yeah.
So currently, there's 1.5 million square foot across the US and Europe.
Yeah.
So the new build is just Europe. It's just America.
Okay.
And bearing in mind, they don't just print Pokemon. And there was a leaked video a few years ago that said that they can print 26.62 million cards per day per press. So that'd be around 9.7 billion per year per press. Per year per press if it's running 24/7, 365. It's also worth noting that this place Carta Mundi also print in Europe, so it's not just Millennium Print Group. And the latest reported Pokemon printing figures, which would be, they do March to March. So it would be, what was last month? So in March 2024 to March 2025, they printed 10.2 billion in cards, to give perspective.
Everyone
so across these facilities.
Everyone in the world could have a card.
Everyone in the world could have a card. And next year, or 2028, everyone in the world can have 2.
Exactly.
Can all have 2 cards, or maybe even 3, depending on how it runs. Exactly. So this is, it's like it's a doubling. Effectively, you'd imagine some of this product might be pushed to Europe. Some of hopefully some will be pushed to Europe. You'd imagine that, some of it will be leased to other people. So sort of sports cards to One Piece is quite popular at the moment. You'd imagine that it would be. I can't imagine there are many campuses this big across the world.
No.
So, in terms of TCGs, which seem to be popping up all the time, you'd imagine that there'll be, lots of TCGs printed here, but, maybe Pokemon will have the capacity to double their print runs. And you'd imagine that would more than take up the existing demand. However, overprinting has been known to destroy trading card games.
Well,
they need a bit of hype.
You're right, but it destroys it for those who are in it for the money, I think.
Sure.
I understand about, yes, it's nice to own something that is rare, or, rarer than if all your friends have one as well, then it's not so, I guess it loses its value. But if you are just, sometimes it's, I don't know, if you're opening your packs with your children, it's, it would be nice to see them, I'm sure they'd be very happy to pull a high, or not a high value card, I mean, a special card on a more frequent basis, maybe.
Yeah. No, it's true. And the Pokemon trading card game is huge. Sort of the actual, the game.
Yeah.
Is big. But what was I going to say? But, because there's always this trend of these sort of hobby things moving towards adult. Like you have these Lego sets which are sort of adults only. Which they're clearly marketed towards adults as opposed to children. Which wasn't really the case when we were younger. Lego sets weren't, well, to be honest, I have no idea actually. But I don't think they were. They weren't targeted towards adults. But it's just we were the generation that grew up, and now all of these things that we would have grown up with as children are now targeted towards those adults.
Yeah, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. I think that the Lego one's difficult though, because do we know we were children? Do we know what was available? I mean, I think the biggest sets are the Technic ones. The Lego
Yeah,
Technic are clearly for adults.
I
So I don't
suppose
know. I
so.
mean, if that line, maybe that line wasn't around when we were
Well, I mean, to be honest, well, I
younger.
remember Lego Harry Potter, Bionicles,
Yeah,
and
Barnacles
Lego Star
saved
Wars.
Lego, basically. I watched something
Allegedly.
about that. Yeah, alleged. No, well, fine.
Yes, I think I've watched that video as well. Yeah. But obviously they were mainly children's. But I don't know, but well, I suppose maybe it's also just design developments. You look at the Hogwarts castle from, 15, 20 years ago, whenever they did it, and compared to the one now. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just the way they design it. It's just improved a lot.
I think also it's the size. I'm sure they're bigger. No, is it a bigger? Is it a more complex castle?
Oh, you mean more pieces?
Yeah, yeah, more pieces. I think
Well, I'm
that
sure.
because I think did I see something where some of they have it's a Star Wars set. One of
Oh,
the
the Death Star.
no,
Slice.
yes, I think I've seen they had one. I don't know how many years ago, and obviously they've got a more recent one, and it's just larger, more complicated, more pieces. But if you were, but the from the business side, Pokemon are correct to change the targeting. Or
For
sorry,
adults.
yeah, move it. Yeah, because it's the same with because people sort of change over. Obviously, people change over time, but I mean, when you have children, you want to show them maybe things that you were interested in when you were their age, and
Yeah,
so I think
that's true.
it's the same for actually football, supporting football teams. So a friend of mine was telling me that there is some psychology where you might be really into it from I don't know, let's say 11 till your early 20s, and then it sort of fades, and then you get back into it when you have children and you want to take them and show them the game and etc etc. So I think it's a very similar deal with these yeah, Pokemon and Lego. But I mean it's smart from a business point of view. I
What it
I
is.
can't
Well, I mean,
knock
it's the
it.
end of cycle if you play it right.
Yeah, literally. But no, you're right though, because on the printing too much, it's just like Ferrari actually. If we're talking about cars,
What have they done?
they well they I can't remember when they were listed on the stock market, but essentially now they
They're
just serve
publicly
their
traded.
they are I believe Ferrari are publicly traded now. I think it's some years ago, but not too many. And you can see the shift where now they're pumping out new models all the time, and people are tired of the fact that the cars are not that rare anymore. And obviously, the more cars you're pushing out to obviously appease your shareholders, the it's just they have more problems because the quality control is not as strict. You're under time frames. Sorry, stricter time frames, tighter time frames, and so it's all not that obviously building a car is the same as printing a card, but
No, yes.
maybe from a Pokemon point of view, it could be that
But they are doing it
the
every 2 months.
the artwork is rushed. Maybe it could be better if
Yeah.
it was 4
But I
months.
think you're talking more about the Pokemon games perspective. Because these are
Yeah.
the criticisms that they have about that. that they try and do one every year, but they should just take a break. And,
right,
which I
right.
suppose comes into
No,
the
I mean, I
argument
was saying
that
maybe the artwork, you know, because if you're a designer and you're going, well, I've got to, I've got only because I mean, if it's every
that
two
they
months,
outsource all of these.
yeah, where to the same house
So
or
no.
not?
So the
And when I say house,
Pokemon
I mean
cards are done
design
by different
house.
artists.
Okay.
No. To sort of individual artists.
Okay.
There were some sort of like graphic design studios. A lot of it's going that way. So, I don't know how it works in terms of commissioning the artwork, but it's not. I don't believe it's done by. Well, it's not done by Pokemon.
Oh, so it's not in-house.
They're just
Okay,
artists
that's
they
fine
work
then.
with. No.
So that would be fine then, and they won't be rushed.
Yeah. And there are quality control things. So there have been Pokemon cards that have been stamped, or that you can see the sort of the imprint of an NFL team logo or an NFL footballer's name.
Right. Yeah.
They make these misprints because they're using the same printing facility as these people. And I don't know how this transfer takes place, why there's this mix up, but so those things have been seen. But I think this quality thing is more for the, people always complain about the graphics and the animations of the Pokemon games, that they're just rubbish. But it's part of this whole ecosystem, the games come out, the Pokemon cards have to follow the games.
Okay.
And then you've got the anime following sort of the, so Gen 10, the 10th generation will come out this year. And the game will release, that will have new Pokemon, which will be printed in the cards, which will be showing in the anime, which will sort of all of these different mediums. And I suppose one is that, if a child can't get Pokemon cards, they can still experience it in the games, or they'll like the Pokemon because of the games, because of the cards, because of the something, but they'll get sucked into the ecosystem somehow, and then go this way. But I suppose that's the thing. The thing just has to keep churning. People say to fix this low supply that they should, just stop releasing new sets. But they can't release new sets. They can't stop releasing new sets because then they have to put the games on hold. They have to put the anime on hold. They have to say to the countries which don't have supply issues, you've got to go on hold as well. And so the Pokemon machine just has to keep churning. And maybe this is how they meet demand. I would rather stay on the low demand, the low supply side. From a business perspective again.
Sure.
Obviously not from a collector's perspective.
No, not from a collector's perspective. But then you say that, but it makes the collection more valuable. And I'm not just talking monetary terms, but also in the,
more sentimental value.
Yeah.
You have a better sort of feeling with the brand, I guess.
I think if you can, there are many things that you want a good supply of, like food, water, but there are
you want an abundant supply.
Exactly, an abundance. But I think it's for many items like this, the lower supply is better. It just creates value.
It's weird, isn't it? Because you've got sort of, I don't know, maybe the older Ferrari model or the Rolex model, where you'll say, I'd like to buy this, and they'll say, no, we don't want to sell it to you.
Yeah.
But if you spend sort of 100,000 here, well, in terms of Rolex, but probably millions for Ferrari, then we'll invite you. We'll put you on the list to be invited to potentially purchase maybe one of our desirable cards. But then Pokemon, a piece of cardboard, has the same sort of mass desire or mass hysteria about it, that no one can get it, but they're still chasing after it. Well, actually, I don't know what the comparison is. It's desirable, but this is cheap and the other things are expensive to make.
Well, Ferrari does perceived rarity.
That's perceived value.
Yeah.
So the sort of the scarcity of Pokemon make it more desirable, because people talk about the value of a Pokemon booster box, let's say.
Yeah.
And so MSRP I think is around £150. But clearly people are happy to pay £200 plus for some of these other sets. And, or in the past, there were sets which have been selling for below MSRP, so maybe around £80, £90, that now are selling for a few hundred. So the idea of just inherent value compared to perceived value, just doesn't exist. There's no inherent value to a box of Pokemon cards. It's just what the market where the attention is in the market.
But no, I mean, supply is always good. And I think this is the last point on this. Otherwise, we're not going to get any further. But how Ferrari do it is they you go into a dealership and you can say, yeah, I want that, whatever model. And they'll say, yeah, great, it's a 2-year wait, so we can stick you on the list.
Yes.
Even though you can probably, in practical terms, it's not. They just artificially throttle the supply of their cars so that, because the other flip side is that McLaren didn't do that. So they sort of, not did it honestly, but they made more cars than really were on order, so they would build the cars at the factory and then push them onto the dealers. So you could walk to a McLaren dealership and drop a similar amount of money, and they would say, yeah, great, your car, 4 weeks, And when you're spending that sort of money, you actually want to be told that you're going to have to wait for 1 year, 2 years. It's funny. You don't actually want it now because you want to think that.
Yeah, sure, it's ready.
You want to feel special. And if they can just, because, and they say 4 weeks, 6 weeks, but ultimately they could have, in some cases, they literally could have gone to the back of the dealership and gone, that's exactly the right, that's exactly the spec they wanted.
So maybe it is part of that you can't get the cards, which makes them sort of more desirable.
Exactly.
For this. But okay, well, let's do the last one. We'll talk about just briefly.
Okay.
Because it's a bit, maybe a week or 2 weeks old to this one. But it's there are 4 main grading companies.
Yeah.
So PSA, Beckett's, CGC, and SGC. And I believe PSA previously bought up SGC, and now they bought up Beckett's. So 3 of the 4 are owned by this parent company, Collectors. And PSA are the gold standard in the hobby in Pokemon. If you have a mint card, so a grade 10, it will sell for much more than PSA. It's more liquid, more people want it, all of those things. And so they bought up now Beckett's. Apparently when they bought up SGC, they sort of drove it into the ground, and it just didn't do well after the acquisition. So whether that's they killed a competitor, or who knows what went on there. Yes, they've now done Beckett. There's a lot of shady stuff with PSA as well. So they grade the cards, and I think there was a case where maybe I'm missaying this, but they graded someone's cards as a 9, and then when they grade now, they give you an offer. Do you want to sell it back to us? And they said yes. And then they somehow saw that the cards that they'd sent back, so because they have a certification number, had now been upgraded to a 10, and PSA was selling them through their own eBay store or through their own website. So it's, who knows what goes on behind the scenes. And now they sort of have a monopoly. People are unhappy with them, but they're also, if you want to grade your cards and get the most value through your cards, you're going to grade with PSA. A lot of people have PSA collections, so they're pretty entrenched in it.
Yeah.
So whether this will actually matter to anybody or change any behavior, who knows?
Probably not. But not. What was it? Did you say SGC they bought?
Yeah.
And ran into the ground.
They'd previously bought SGC, and they'd sort of apparently mismanaged it, mishandled it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not on purpose. You wouldn't make an investment because they're the ones losing the money.
No.
So I don't know. But I don't. If anyone, I don't feel like this will be forgotten tomorrow.
No.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. I think this thing will be forgotten tomorrow. Other PSA things. So PSA also sort of partner with GameStop.
Okay.
So apparently people aren't happy with GameStop as well. There's a lot of people don't like the corporates
Yeah.
in Pokemon.
People just don't seem to be very happy.
No, they're not happy about PSA. They're not happy about GameStop for good reason. So I think the problem with grading is it promises too much. That it promises to be a very scientific. Someone looks at your cards, they can see all the mistakes, and they give you a very fair and accurate grade.
Yeah.
Whereas it's more an art than a science. I think the other thing with PSA is that they just give you a 10 or a 9. They don't tell you why. Whereas other companies will go, you got 10 out of 10 on your centering, but your edges were 9 out of 10, and the surface is 9.5 out of 10, so we gave you a 10 overall. So they'll give you sort of a bit more of a breakdown, whereas PSA don't. So maybe it's sort of a transparency thing as well. Obviously, people appreciate more transparency. But yeah, so that is just briefly the monopoly that PSA are creating. Will people turn away? Probably not.
No,
but we'll see. I don't think so either. I think there's money talks. If you can get the best value from grading with PSA, and sort of, not insignificant amounts. It's not as though PSA is 1% more than the next person. It's sort of, magnitudes more. You are, money talks, as I said. So you're going to need a big reason to not grade with PSA. Anything to add there? We will move.
No, I can't say, unfortunately. I agree. People will just continue using them. Sounds like.
As a mentality. So let's
Technical difficulties at the moment.
Well, we'll just run it.
We'll just run it. Okay.
Well, I thought I'd made a title page. I hadn't made a title page.
No.
We're going to play Hyrule, and we're going to do Charizard today.
Yay.
And then a little special round at the end.
Ooh,
so we have 2 cards here.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 cards here. So we can see the one on the right is from 2022. The one on the left is from 2017.
Okay.
And on balance, looking at these, so you don't need to know anything. Obviously, sort of old and more expensive. We can go although that doesn't always hold true.
Okay.
Because these are modern cards. They're not vintage. So,
no, they're not.
So we can go with that. But looking at these 2, and just for reference, this is going off TCG player prices. So I'm not going off last solds or anything. I didn't do that much detail. But we are looking at which one do you think is more valuable?
I prefer it. What is the discrepancy? Is it large?
2x. One is double the other.
I prefer the one on the right visually, but actually, I was going to go with the one on the left, but now I see Bulbasaur's in there.
Venusaur.
Oh, sorry, Venusaur. Yeah. Venusaur's in there, and
Venusaur is there in the background.
I feel like maybe two, both of them in the card is something impressive. So I'm going with the right. Surely
it's got to be the one on the right. And yet. So the one on the right is it's around 230.
Okay.
And the one on the left is close to 500. 500 and something dollars.
Older, I guess.
So a big difference between the 2.
Yeah.
A big difference. And these rainbow cards were hated when they first came out. They really weren't popular. And to be honest, they still I still think they aren't that popular either. You know,
Hmm.
I don't like the look of it.
No,
So
no.
just visually, I don't think that they're very nice cards. But yeah, twice as much as this one. And I think this is a really nice one. There's another Charizard fighting a Mewtwo from Mewtwo's perspective, which I think are really cool cards. But yeah, surprisingly not up there. So we're going to stick with that Charizard.
Okay.
So I've said it was $230. And now we're going to bring into the mix this one. So this is from 2023. It's from a set called 151, which basically was it was just made up of the first 151 Pokemon. So the Gen 1 Pokemon. This is the Charizard from that set. So again, these two Pokemon, which one are you taking? This is much closer.
Which one am I taking?
Oh,
Or
well, yeah, which one are you taking, but also which one do you think is more
Okay.
valuable? And I'll say
I'm
for this
still
one, there's about
taking-
$20 to $30 in it.
the one on the right?
Still taking the one on the right.
But I think
Yeah.
the one on the left is more expensive.
You would be correct. Not 20, yeah, as I said, $20 to $30 in it. So it's about $250. One on the right is $228. Again, off TCG player prices, so last sold.
Mm.
I'm not saying anything with that. This sort of, it's one of those iconic cards of this era, of these sort of modern cards, just
Okay.
really popular. And 151 is like the big set of the time as well. People aren't sort of always, happy with the artwork. The Charizard doesn't look great.
No.
But this is more sort of what it means. And you can only see this card going up in price because it's quite recent.
Okay. Yeah, no.
And $250 is quite cheap, to be honest. Especially compared to that rainbow. This or the rainbow, surely people would take this over the rainbow. So keeping the Charizard on. And now we are going with a first edition Dark Charizard
Come
from
on.
the original Team Rocket set.
It's got to be Dark Charizard. Has to be. I refuse to believe.
So, as I said, so that is $250. So then the question is, how much more expensive? So for reference, that Rainbow Charizard was, of TCG player, $547.
Mm-hmm.
So how much do we think this Dark Charizard is? So the 151 is about $250.
Yeah.
The Rainbow Charizard was about $550. Where do you have this Dark Charizard?
You mean to give you a number? Or
Yeah. Where do you think it is?
I think it's a 4-figure number. And if it's very difficult for me to gauge it,
Yes.
is in to give a number, but for sure it's more than the.
It's definitely
151.
more.
It's definitely more. I'm
Yeah.
no
So
doubt.
it's definitely more than the 141. It's definitely more than the Rainbow.
Cool.
But it is only $600
Is it only?
going off
Oh.
TCG player. Yeah. So
I would have
and
thought.
this is from a long time. I think it's 99. I can't really see that. But yeah. So Dark Charizard. So huge card. Only 600. This is, I believe, these are raw prices as well. So these aren't graded.
Okay.
So PSA 10. Obviously, that would be significant. That would be a 4-figure.
Okay.
But yeah, for now, just that. And now keeping this Dark Charizard. And we're going up against this Charizard. So this is a Delta species. So this is sort of from the era that we were opening packs as well.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we never saw this.
No.
So this is Delta species, which mean they're a different type. So this is a Dark Charizard, as in a dark typing as opposed to fire.
Yeah.
And it's also a Gold Star. And I'll just say that Gold Stars are all the rage at the moment.
I see. Is that a hint?
Well, yes. In saying that, I realise I might have
Given it
spoiled
away.
the game.
I can give you a number. Let me give you a number on that. So if that was, if I say 800, maybe, because the art also goes out side of the.
Yes, it's a nice card.
Yeah. I'll go 800 for that.
Significantly more.
Oh, significantly more. Okay, so it's a four-figure number.
So this is a 4-figure card. This is. So yeah, so this is the most expensive one. To look at sort of today. The lowest listing at the moment on TCG Player for a lightly played one.
Yeah.
So you might have a bit of whitening on the back. Is $2,800 for that card. Raw, not graded.
Yeah.
So raw card. So a very, and I mean it's a cool card.
Yeah.
So it's got the vintage. It's a nice looking Charizard. Okay, so those are the Charizards. I still think now onto the
Venusaur Charizard is the best for me.
The best that we've looked at.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I guess is a full art card.
I have no idea. Yes, so they're sort of, they can be a lot nicer, but I have no idea how one of these how the rainbow is twice as much as this one.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea.
That's our top tip.
It doesn't make any sense.
Pick up the one on the right.
Exactly. Pick up the one on the right. Surely it'll go up. I mean, any Charizard less than this rainbow one surely has to go for the same price eventually. So this one, that one, ones to pick up. Okay. And now we come here. Mm-hmm. So here we go. We've got a booster box of Team Up. Sun and Moon Team Up. And we also have a Jaguar. I'll give you a bit more information about the car.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Sunroof. I want to include that one as well.
Yeah. Potentially working.
And then here is the booster box. So we've got Sun and Moon Team Up. So I want to give a bit of reference for this.
Yeah, please.
As the last one of this. So I'll tell you how much the most expensive card in this box goes for.
Okay. How many? So it's a booster box. So is this how many? It's what 12.
So 36 packs.
36 packs. Okay.
And the most expensive card is a market price, again from TCG Player, is £2,600.
Okay.
And it has two other cards which are around the £1,000 mark. Thoughts on the pricing of the car?
Car? What is it? Jaguar 1. Can you?
It is a good question. It is a 1989 Jaguar XU.
XU?
XJ40.
I was going to say XU. I haven't heard of that before.
XJ40 XJR?
Alex, you give me 3 options here. Which one is it?
It says 3.6 XJ40 XJR Sports 4-door.
Okay.
Let's go with XJ.
Right, is it running? Is it a private seller?
It's one of 252. Oh, one of 252. Needs some love and attention in a few departments, how the engine and gearbox are sound.
Yeah, that's so good. They say. So what does that mean, rust?
I presume it runs. What do you think of the price of the car?
I would say low 4 figures.
Okay. You might be, well, again, okay, it hasn't sold for this. It's listed for this. It doesn't go have any prices. Someone just put this up on Auto Trader. So, okay.
Exactly. What is this? Okay.
Right. This car is listed for 6.6.
Price? Sorry?
This car's... The game needs to be refined. I'll give you the price for this one.
Okay.
So this car is listed for 6.6.
Okay, I would have gone. I was thinking maybe 3 or 4 thousand. Okay, 6 6. Okay.
Okay, so there we go. So now the question
For
is
anyone
this
who uses
booster box worth
translation, it's
more or
six
worth less?
thousand six hundred.
Yeah, 6,600.
Um,
There we go. Not
yeah.
660
I was gonna say
or 66.
just clarifying. For the audience, of course.
Of course.
Which, well, I feel like the box is more. Sorry, the booster box is more, just because it's the first game, and there's no fun if it's not more.
Well, yes, okay.
But I find it ridiculous that it would be more than 6,600. So for sanity, I'm going to say that the car is more expensive, but I don't really believe it.
So obviously you're correct that in terms of the game sort of theory behind this, yes, the box is more expensive than the 6,600 for that car. The question is how much more?
Ah, okay. Is the booster box double? Ah, okay. Fine. I'll
Not that
go
much.
9. Is it 9,000?
So close. So about 9.5 is current market price for that booster box, which is ridiculous.
What year was it from?
That is from 2019. So it's only 6 years old.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Is one of the most desirable sets, the most desirable box of that era, though. So the whole of Sun and Moon, it's up there.
Sure.
Yeah, close to 5 figures for that booster box. But okay, so that wraps up the fun and games. In the future, we'd like to also sort of respond to some comments, potentially do a live stream at some point, so also answer questions, react to things. And also, if you want to send it in your, as I said earlier, your Gen 1 teams. Oh wait, we're not finished.
We're not finished. We
more.
We need to be finished, but we're not finished.
We'll quickly go through this. So this question is,
Rattle
which
through
Pokemon would be best and worst to sit next to on a flight? And I believe we're going with mine first. So the best one, I've gone for Jirachi, which will probably be meaningless for you. However,
I've seen it before, but
for
that's
me,
it.
so in the lore, it's that Jirachi makes wishes and grants wishes. So that has been the logic for why that has been included. And the worst is the next two, I feel, is just, I mean, it's a giant pile of garbage.
What is that?
It's a Pokemon. Would you believe that's a Pokemon? That is Garbodor. A mixture of
Whoever was
garbage and
the-
odor.
Whoever was the design house for this needs to be fired. I don't think they use them again.
This is when they ran out of ideas for the Pokemon, and then that has come up.
Really?
And then we will go through yours as well. So first up, we have best.
Best has to be Snorlax because I can just go to sleep on him. Just
On Snorlax.
exactly.
So this is
You've always
for
got to be thinking
sleeping
about
on
that.
Snorlax.
Yeah.
Sleeping together. And this one is, why have we gone for Electrode?
Why? You know why, right? This is a good one, I think. He doesn't have. He's just a sphere, right? He's just a ball.
Yes.
So he's just rattling
Yes.
around in the seat next to me. I think that would be annoying.
He's not strapped in.
He's
No
just
sleeping
rolling
set.
around.
I did wonder
After
if it was
seatbelt
because
sign goes off.
if they
then-
self-destruct.
Sorry.
I did wonder if it was because Electrode has the move self-destruct.
Way over my head.
Well, there we go. There are levels to it.
Exactly.
But there we go.
That would
So
be
that
annoying.
is
wouldn't
the-
it? You know,
It would be annoying.
sitting next.
You'd put him up in the overhead compartment,
Exactly.
rolling down the plane.
Exactly.
There we go. So that is the question of the week. A bit rushed today, but hopefully more time for it next time when there's less news going through. But as I said, so we'd love to know what your answer to this question would be. Best and worst Pokemon to sit next to. I mean, who had the right answers? Who's got the best Gen 1 team? And also what your Gen 1 team is. As I said just before, we will maybe do live at some point, but we'd love to have any questions about anything sort of Pokemon related or in general, anything we've spoken about today. And yeah, we'll hopefully be doing these weekly, so same day every week, and we'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Bye bye.